Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you're tuning in from and whatever time it is you're tuning in. Welcome back to another daily episode of your daily dose of vitamin D3. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks for being here. When you arrive, let me know where it is you're tuning in from. And also let me know where you are in the journey, okay? Because I always like to know who I'm talking to so I can speak directly to you as far as, especially if you're someone who is what I consider to be my peeps, right? If you are a woman over 40, a woman of color, or a woman of the LGBTQ plus community, and you feel stuck in your job right now, stuck in the corporate environment, which is what we're going to be talking about, and you're looking to make the leap, or perhaps you are already, working both your 9 to 5 and started your business, or maybe you made the full leap already, but you're just like inconsistent with, what you need to do or knowing exactly what steps to take to really get you to that next level. But today specifically, we are talking about making the leap from, and I don't mean leap of faith, okay, necessarily. I'm talking about strategic planning. I'm talking about actually taking you through the process and talking about the doubts and fears that many of us have around making the leap from from the corporate employment world, right, into entrepreneurship, business ownership. And that's a real fear that many women have. And so I speak to women all the time, every day. My coaching clients in my circle, clients that I speak to at different speaking engagements, people I interact with all the time who are discussing these fears openly. And, many women, like I said, especially if you are a woman of age, someone who has actually been in the corporate arena for a long time and you're well established in your corporate career, you might not really know how to make this happen and what your next best move is. So I want to talk about it. I want to break this down in the video today as to how you can be thinking about this, what things you need to consider, and then what steps you actually need to take as you are transitioning in your career, right? So we're talking specifically about making a transition in your career, how to pivot, how to actually move from, the corporate world into the business world so that you can get started today, okay, if you haven't already. So again, let me know where it is you're tuning in from, but that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode of Your Daily Dose. So hello there. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let me go ahead and get my notes. We're going to get right to it. Alrighty. So let's talk about what might be holding you back, okay? What are you fearing around making this leap? What are you fearing around the transition? What doubts are coming up for you? When you say out loud, or even just to yourself, and when you're talking to a good girlfriend of yours, or when you are, having a conversation with a friend, or maybe a coworker or colleague, an associate of some sort, at different events you might attend, like what is the conversation or the feelings that are coming up for you as you're having that conversation out loud? Even as I'm saying to you, this is what we're going to talk about today, is helping you leave the corporate arena and make that transition smooth. What feelings are actually coming up for you as I even say those words? Because again, fear does exist up here, right? And it really is about switching off those fears and replacing that self-doubt that you're having, which is also rooted in fear, and talking about how realistically you can actually make this transition as seamless as possible. Okay, so the first thing is I really want you to embrace that. Okay, I have my notes here. I want you to embrace that. I want you to embrace the fact that, first of all, you're even considering making this move. You're even having the desire to make the transition. And so give yourself a hug, a pat on the back, a high five, and just celebrate even that small win. Because that is a win. That is actually you saying that I don't like this feeling of being stuck. I don't like where I'm at right now. This doesn't feel good to me. And I want to make a difference in my life. And I know it's never going to happen here. I know that I have, as I call it, outgrown the corporate building. I'm ready for more. And I'm never going to get more by being here, right? So if you know that to be true. If you're like, I'm done with corporate. I've been here a long time. I've had all the jobs. I've done all the things. And no matter how high up the ladder I climb, I'm ready for more because I'm never fulfilled. I'm giving away all of my sweat equity, my years that I can't get back, my talent, my God-given gifts. I'm giving all of the educational background that I have, all of the things that I come packaged with, everything that I'm blessed with, all of the years of experience that I have, and I am deferring my own dreams and helping somebody else build theirs, right? If that's where you are right now, put a briefcase emoji in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this on the replay, right? Let me know. In fact, put a check mark. Let me know you're done. Like you're ready to pack up your stuff and go, right? So put a briefcase emoji or a check mark and let me know you're done here. You're ready to move forward, okay? And so the other thing is this. The first thing I want you to do, and this is what I was alluding to as I was talking about this anyhow, is that we need to acknowledge those fears, because I don't want to make you feel in this moment that your fears aren't real, right? And the truth is, if you are someone who was well established in the corporate arena, you might feel and have fear around if you can really do this. You've been in the corporate environment for so long. It's such a brainwashing. They really do a number on us right up here with convincing us and conditioning us to believe that this is really the only way that is considered a secured way to secure the bag, right? And to secure your future and make a better life for you and your family. That the traditional corporate career path is the way to success. And if you leave that environment, look at how far you've come. You've gotten the degrees. You have the certifications. Maybe you even got the promotions, right? You had to work hard as hell for it, but you got the promotions finally. And now that you're there, they will almost guilt trip you into believing that this is where you need to stay, right? And I am here to tell you that there's more out there for you. And the corporate environment, they have you shackled right now to that desk. They have you shackled to that corner office or that cubicle or C-suite. They make you feel as though because you're making good money, because you got a good paying job with good benefits, right? And that corner office with the window view, and that you're in cahoots with the C-suite if you're not there yourself yet. They make you feel as though that's really something. That's really a big deal. So they gaslight you into believing, oh no, there's more for you here. Just stick around a little longer and we've got more for you. And then that more never comes. But you keep thinking, if I stay long enough and they see, all the work that I'm doing, if I keep impressing them, if I keep showing up the way I do, if I have an impeccable track record, if I never get that substandard review, if I'm always going above and beyond, I'm helping my coworkers and my colleagues, I'm helping the leadership team, I'm doing all the things, they'll finally see me. They'll finally recognize me, they'll acknowledge me, they'll promote me, they'll pay me more money, and they'll secure my job here. And that is far from the truth, my dear. I'm afraid to tell you and break the bad news to you, okay? That is far from the truth. They will let you go in a hot minute, right? In a heartbeat, they will let you go and they will feel no type of way about it. Because it will simply be, to them, a business decision. We had to cut you. We had no choice, okay? They start top heavy, then they work to the middle, and then they also cut the weakest links, okay? And whatever they got to do to save themselves money, they will do it. So you are not exempt from, being cut. And if you don't have something lined up on the side already, You might very well be one of those people, as you might well know if you're paying attention to the news and the recent political climate and everything going on, the DEI rollbacks and all the things. Companies have mass layoffs right now, all across the different industries. It doesn't matter. Even those industries that were once considered recession proof. And by the way, we are, yes, headed into a recession. Okay. So I'm just saying all that to say that as we think about what your fears are, we need to also consider what will become a real fear for you if you were to stay and put yourself in a predicament that you didn't even realize was coming for you. We've always got to stay ready, right? So we don't have to get ready when it's too late, much too late. And now you're trying to scramble around and figure it out. So as you think about what your fears are, I want you to literally take a piece of paper, even if you do this on your lunch break, even if you don't have anything to write with, put it in your phone, take notes, okay? Everybody's got a notes app, and literally either write it on paper, pen to paper, or type it in your notes, make yourself a text message, whatever you've got to do, and really think about, not just acknowledge your fears, but think about what those fears are and write them down. Say them out loud. I want you to literally address them head on. And then ask yourself, are these fears that I've listed out worse or better than the predicament I might get myself into if I don't plan accordingly and be well ahead of what corporate might do, what my job, my employer might actually do? If they were to cut me loose, do I fear that more? Or do I fear leaving and cutting myself loose more? What are my real fears? What are you fearing? Are you fearing that you can't replace your job, your income? Are you fearing that you won't get the same benefits package that you have in corporate America? Are you fearing that you won't be stable because of the economy being what it is right now? But that's my very point. It isn't a stable economy, and we're headed into a recession because you know who is in office again with his political party. I'm going to call them the billionaire bullies, okay? And they're not here for middle class people. They're certainly not here for people who live in poverty. They're not on your side or mine, okay? Until we're up there with the 1%ers, the 2%ers, the 3%ers, the 5%ers, everybody below them, they're not here for them. They're not here for you. So you've got to be here for you. So I'm asking you again that as you're considering what your real fears are, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about it in the chat. Let's talk about it in the comments. Let's talk about it on a call. What are your real fears? Are they real? Are they valid? Because we need to be doing something about it, because either way, either you're going to make the decision to leave or you're going to allow your fears to stop you. And then when your day comes where you are cut from, your job, you're going to be trying to figure out what to do. And I can promise you that if you're thinking right now, well, I'll just go ahead and tap into my 401k or 403b or whatever, if you work in profit or nonprofit organization, you're going to get penalized for that if you're not of retirement age yet. Okay? Yes, you might have some savings. Good for you. I commend you for that. We all need to have a cash cushion and emergency fund. However, how long will that realistically last? So we need to up the ante, right? We need to say, okay, I need to have faith over fear. Because if I don't, and I'm not ready when my employer decides to let me and other people go because they're having mass layoffs, that means they're not just firing one or two people. They're laying off 2 and 3 and 400 and thousands of people at one time. Okay? So that's what I want you to think about. Let's write that down, write what your fears are and tackle that. Say out loud, write it down and literally say it out loud, one by one. What am I afraid of? Okay. Now I harped on that for a little bit longer because So many fears come up for people, and I don't want to just skim past that. Like, I don't want to fly through that conversation. I want to make sure that you're being really honest with yourself and thinking about what is it that you need to do right now before it's too late. And hi there. Thank you for those of you who are tuning in. Thanks for showing up, not only for me, but for yourself, because this is for you, okay? This conversation that I'm having, and everyday conversations I'm having, is for you. That's why I'm here. So I appreciate you being here, and give yourself a pat on the back for showing up for yourself. Okay, number 2, educate yourself. Educate yourself. No, I don't mean the traditional corporate path of education. I don't mean go back to college and get more degrees and get into more debt. And after all of that, you end up in a lot of disappointment. Nope, I don't mean that at all. Why? Because that is called a broken system. And by broken system, I mean corporate America is a broken system. Because they promise us the world, and all they're doing is spewing out empty promises. They're making empty promises that they don't and can't keep. Okay? And so you end up with the short end of the stick. So we're not talking about that. I'm talking about just educating yourself by simply doing Google searches, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube channels of credible sources, modeling the behaviors and the habits and the strategies and things that people who have made it before you have done. Those that you aspire to have a lifestyle like, they've done it. Who are those people, right? That's what I mean by educating yourself. I want you to understand that research is your best friend. We have the whole wide world web, or whole world. How is it? What is it called? I would say www. So whole World Wide Web. I'm like, what? I'm putting the extra words in there, okay? And I'm putting extra W's in there. Y'all needed to help me out, okay? Y'all just let me stumble through that. Okay, that's cool. World Wide Web. That's what I was trying to say. We need to make sure that we understand we've got that at our fingertips, right? And so all you've got to do is do your research. There are plenty of videos on your specific industry, okay? So whatever industry you're in right now, and if that's the kind of work you want to do outside of corporate America, maybe you want to be a coach and consultant in that area, or some other industry expert or service provider, start doing the research and figuring out for yourself what that even looks like. What does that even mean? Right? Okay. Start attending workshops, start attending master classes, start getting into the right rooms. Okay. Make sure. And before we even get to that, I just want you, here's something that I've got to say, because this is a mistake that I made in the very beginning. I really didn't feel in the very beginning, because my mindset, I had to make some mindset shifts too, okay? I didn't always think back then the way I think about things today. I've evolved, okay? I've learned, I've grown, I've developed. I know better now. When you know better, you do better, right? So when you are in the very beginning of your journey, your entrepreneurial journey, before you actually make the leap, I would definitely tell you to get mentored by someone, get coached by someone, get some consultation sessions in by someone who knows what they're talking about, who's done the thing that you want to do. I promise you, it is truly a shortcut to your success. And the reason why I say that is because you don't have to fumble and bumble through, okay, trying to figure it out. You don't have to stumble into your success. You don't have to struggle your way to success. I am truly anti-hustle and anti-struggle, okay? Pro health and happiness all day, every day is my motto. That's my philosophy. That's what I live by. And I don't deviate from that. So I would never advise you to do anything that has to feel hard. And even though many of us women, okay, we wear that term hard, hustle hard, work hard like a badge of honor, because we don't believe, because we're conditioned to believe that we have to work hard, especially if you are a woman of color, a brown-skinned woman, you believe that everything that comes to you, you had to work hard for it. It can't possibly be something that comes to you easily and effortlessly. It can't possibly. If it comes to you that easy, it must be something wrong with it. And that is not true. Okay? So you can make the choice to hustle hard if you want to. You can make the choice to ride the struggle bus if you choose to. It is your choice after all. It is your life. But I'm just here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way if you choose for it not to. And one of the ways in which you do that is to hire help or to get a mentor who's willing to do it for maybe a nominal fee or for something else in exchange in return for, them spending time with you and giving them their knowledge. But do understand when people are dropping gems and dropping keys for you, like I'm doing this free for you here, right? If you want free resources, you can always look through my content and you can find a plethora of other videos where they're going, talking about these kinds of, maybe not in the way that I am, obviously, but they're still talking about, they're having these conversations. That's free resources, not a problem. But information is not necessarily going to give you a transformation. And when you, by the way, have skin in the game, meaning you are paying your dues and you are paying, you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your education, non-traditional education. Like I said, workshops and master classes and masterminds and working with mentors and coaches. When you do that, when you pay attention. When you show up and you just keep getting this information for free, many people, the larger percentage of the population, won't do anything with it. Why? Because it's free information and they don't have to, and they will just keep it moving and try to get all of the free information that they can, continuously looking for free resources. I call them freebie seekers, and that's what they are. They're looking for discounts. They're looking for the next free thing. And I'm here to tell you that that's only going to take you so far. Why? Because you're only getting part of the solution. Okay, if you're not investing in yourself and getting into these programs, buying people's packages and courses at the right time, with what you need now, with where you are in the journey, okay, because that's half the battle. People are always buying the wrong things at the wrong time or investing in the wrong type of coach at the wrong time. It's not that they don't need that type of coach or that type of course, but they're hoarding those things and they're not taking action on it, or they're doing things in the wrong order, out of order. There is an order of operations in business. So make sure you're educating yourself, because when you educate yourself or get somebody to educate you on what steps you need to take in the right order at the right time, when to do what, when, and how, okay, that is going to cut your time in half. It will significantly, in a positive way, impact your life and business, because you won't have to stay in figure it out mode. You won't have to stay in do it yourself mode. So if you want the solutions to your problems and you understand that you are aware that you have a problem, then go find the solutions. But the solution is not for you to figure it out and try to piecemeal your business together, because that's just going to create a Frankenstein of a business, right? We're not trying to create Frankenstein businesses. We want to make sure that we have wholesome businesses, sustainable businesses that actually work. Right? So make sure you're educating yourself, okay? That will also build your confidence on your way to building your dream business, okay? Third, I think we're on number 3. I lost count. Build a financial safety net. Build a financial safety net. I know oftentimes, and I mentioned this earlier, one of your fears might be around, can I really do this, like financially? I'm making great money here. How am I going to replace my income? Well, one of the things that we can do is to focus on what we can do rather than what we can't do, right? So again, let's get in solution mode and not focus on a narrative that you're telling yourself that hasn't even happened yet. What if I fail? What if I don't make it? What if I don't have the money? What if I can't replace my income? What if clients don't buy? No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay? Let's get rid of that negative narrative and let's say what we can do and what if it goes well and goes right and goes good for us, right? So Build your financial net. Okay. That means, I know you might not want to hear this, but this is a great time for you to actually decrease expenses in the areas that they're just considered niceties, not necessities. Okay, you may have heard me say this before, so I'm going to say it again for those who didn't, or for the people in the back who wasn't paying attention when I said it the first time, or those who sitting on the sidelines watching and listening idly by, just watching and on the sidelines, and they're not doing much with this information. Even if you're sitting in the front, if you're not paying attention, I need you to pay attention. We need to decrease the expenses for the things that we're just using for our discretionary spending, because we have disposable income. Disposable, is it really? Right now is a really great time in the economy we're in right now, especially as you're making plans to transition out, to go ahead and decrease expenses, but we're going to increase our income, right? Because ain't but so many, I mean, let's just be honest. There's not but so many expenses we can decrease. But we still should be decreasing expenses where it's not anything we really need. Like if we're just living a luxury lifestyle, just for the hell of it, because we can, because we have the money, how is that serving you, really? Is it giving you a return on your investment? I mean, like for real. By buying all the handbags and the new shoes and the new perfumes and the new makeup and all the things, the new car that you're leasing or that you went out and purchased, that's gonna, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's going to depreciate? Or are we investing in assets that's gonna give us something back in return? Not in things, more liabilities or things that's just going to go by the wayside and they mean nothing, right? They're not doing anything for our near and far future. They do nothing for us other than make us feel good, instant gratification, in the moment kind of thing. Yeah, it's cute and all, but how many times, I mean, like, what is it really doing for you? At the end of the day, we need to be looking at our bank account and our bottom lines, right? And if our bank account ain't banking the way it needs to, and the math ain't mathing the way it needs to and should be, then we need to decrease expenses where it's not giving us anything back. So all the extras, all the subscriptions that you have right now that are just conveniences, but they're not necessities. Those are the things that we need to scale back on, and we need to scale up where, in the areas where we need to make more money, right? So that's one of the ways we can start build. But so we're talking specifically about, I just wanted to talk about that first before we get into what else you can do to actually build your net, okay, or your safety net, because you're going to lose that with your leaving your job, and that's okay, because you'll still take some of those benefits with you. But one of the things you should be doing is saving, right? You need to be saving for a rainy day, saving, investing, building up a cash cushion, an emergency savings plan. And if you don't think you're going to get cut within the next 6 or so months, 3 to 6 months, go ahead and start putting money aside. Put money in a high yielding savings plan, one that accrues interest quite quickly. There are plenty out there, lots of digital banks out there. Start doing your homework, do your research. Google is your best friend. Right? We need to start looking into how we can save. And I say a bank account, that actually will build up, accrue interest faster, right? Because we don't want our money sitting in like one of these big banks, one of these commercial banks that we all know, the Bank of America's, the Chase, the Wells Fargo, and all of those, where the money's just collecting dust. It's not giving you anything in return. So we want that money to be building, accruing interest. Okay, so make sure you're looking for accounts that yield a high interest rate for you, so you get that back in the end, right? And so you should be saving. If you decrease those expenses, this was the point I was making earlier. When you decrease those expenses, guess what you can now do? Take that extra money that was considered discretionary or disposable income, and now the money you were spending on all those spa days and the extra times you went in to get your hair and nails done as often as you were. I'm not saying you can't do these things anymore. I'm just saying, do they have to be so frequent, right? Do they have to be every week, every 2 weeks? Can you scale back and maybe go once or twice a month, or once a month, every other week? Like, can you just make it not as frequent, right? So, but you're going to take that money on all of those things where you were buying the purses and the new perfumes and the new red bottoms or whatever, going on these expensive trips and these fancy restaurants to dine out and whatever else you're doing. Now, can you just do that less? All the Door Dashes you've been doing, the Uber Eats, can you just scale back and cook a couple few meals at home? And now take that money and put it into your savings. Because really you should be saving about 20 to 30% of the income you're bringing in. About 20 to 30% of your income, what you're earning. At least 15. And if you're investing in a 401k plan, and especially if they match it, you should really take advantage of maxing that out. Because there are some companies that will pay you they will match it dollar for dollar up to between 3 and 6%. And if you're putting in 3 to 6% and they're matching that, so say you're putting in the max amount of the 6% and they're matching that, that's 12%. And if you're fully vested in the company you're working for because you've been there for a minute, you get to take all that with you when you leave, in addition to your severance package if they were to let you go. Or when if you're of age of retirement, then you get that anyway. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get you to just think about this differently so that you can be well prepared. But that is how you build a safety net. And like I said, there will be benefits that you get to take with you that you'll have. But even if you didn't, you weren't in a position and they didn't allow you, like you weren't fully invested in your 401k, for example, you still get to take your portion or at least roll it over, not necessarily take it out because we don't want you penalized if you are not of age yet for retirement. Okay. So yeah, we want to make sure you're able to cover about 6 to 12 months of expenses. And it could potentially take longer than that for you to start building up clientele, but we're going to talk about that next. But if you are consistent in your behaviors and how you show up for yourself, you in fact might not have to wait that long. You can have things, if you start now, see, you know how I don't know if you've ever heard this, but my grandmother always used to say to my mother, and my mother always said to me, it's easier to find a job when you have a job, right? But when you don't have a job, you're like pressed for trying to get this job because you're running out of money, right? You're depleting your funds, your savings, your income that you were able to whatever savings or emergency funds you have, you might be like burning through that money, right? And you're like, you've got this almost desperate energy if it doesn't happen for you fast enough. And if you're only living off of unemployment, that's a little something, but that's going to not last too long. And it's only like a third or less of your salary. So that's why you need to already get used to living below your means, not above them. Okay, I just needed to say that. So save up at least 6 to 12 months of your expenses so that if you were to be let go or when you decide to leave, you have that to carry you through in addition to some of the other things I just mentioned earlier so that you don't feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? You know what I mean? And all of those things that you were thinking of preliminarily are now coming true. That narrative you were telling yourself earlier, the what ifs on the negative side. No, now you can be like, now I'm so glad I made this a thing before I left because I actually am in a better position, in a stronger position financially. Okay. Then the next thing you want to do is start small and scale. Start small and scale. Okay. What I mean by that is tap your toe in the water. Test out the waters. Test drive this thing. Okay, if you are not sure if business ownership and entrepreneurship is for you, try it out for size. Okay, especially while you have a job. That same concept that I just said where, it's easier to get a job while you have one. Go ahead and start building up your clientele and launching that business right now. Start small, right? Start it off as like a consulting coaching firm, some freelance work. Right, that you're doing. Start going ahead and networking. And we're going to get to that. I think I have that as a whole nother thing. So I'm not going to jump ahead. So I just want you to launch your business part-time. Launch your business part-time. Just start it on the side. And, while you're still employed at your job, just work that part-time. The lowest hanging fruit, I always say, is just leveraging your skill set. What are the abilities you have right now? What can you actually do right now? Who do you know who will pay you for your services right now? Start going after those individuals. Start telling people about what you're doing. Let people know that you've started a business and that you're growing your business. But yes, you still got a job. And while you're doing that, you're doing this thing on the side part-time. Go ahead and set yourself up a calendar. Okay, there's lots of, in a way for people to pay you. There's PayPal, there's Stripe. I would have both options, okay? Because some people don't like PayPal and they'll take Stripe over PayPal. Some people don't care either way, but you want to have more than one way to pay you. And then you connect that to a calendar link or a calendar like Calendly or Acuity, and those integrate with Stripe and PayPal, and they integrate with other programs as well. And then you just start letting people know that you're having, you're doing coaching or consulting services on whatever your zone of genius is, whatever you're an expert at, okay? Whatever industry you're in. So start, make sure you're looking into what your niche is. By the way, I have a whole video around niche marketing. So if you don't know what niche marketing is and you need more help with that, go ahead and do a search in my on my page and just look for it on my channel and just put in niche marketing, and I'm sure the video will pop up for you. Okay. But it's also, I'll make sure it's linked below as well in the description box so you can have access to that. And that will help you narrow down and what you want to do specifically with coaching, because coaching and consulting is broad, right? So we want to make sure we're narrowing in on a segment of the market. But I teach you basically in that video how to become a specialist as opposed to a generalist. So go ahead and check that out for sure. And by the way, let me know if you're getting value from this video before we continue on. I got a couple of more bullet points I want to go through. If you're getting value from this video and this content in this series as a whole, definitely let me know. Drop a fire emoji or a purple heart emoji in the comments or in the chat here, and let me know if this has been helpful for you, for me to show up and do these daily dose of vitamin D3 episodes. Okay, I hope you are enjoying this live stream session, and if so, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode whenever I do go live, which right now is Monday through Friday. Okay, and if you don't know, I'm doing a 90-day sprint, and at the end of the 90 days, which is the end of this month, I'm going to decide how I'm going to move forward. But you can also still catch me 3 times a week when I'm dropping new videos, just every single week on a regular basis. Okay, so lots of content here for you. And thank you in advance for showing up, coming back here if you're coming back for more, if you're not new here, and coming for the first time if you are. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to it. All right, so this is how you're gonna, by starting your business part-time on the side, this is how you're gonna slowly test the waters, but you'll be able to more easily transition full-time from your corporate business or from your corporate job into your full-time business, okay? And especially as your business is growing. Now, the next thing is leveraging your corporate skills, right? We talk a lot here about transferable skills. They're hard skills and they're soft skills, right? You can look up both, because I'm not going to break that down because this is going to be too long of a video if I do that. But I want you to look into the difference, or go ahead and check out other videos I have around transferable skills to help you better understand that, okay? But there is a difference. So utilize your skills. If you are a project manager, if you are a leader, if you are if you have great communication skills, if you have, if you've been a program manager before, if you've done any kind of admin work, whatever was your thing or is your thing currently as you're working in your 9-to-5, go ahead and use those skills in your business, okay? Those skills, you'd be surprised how much you're going to need your organizational skills, your communication skills, your leadership abilities, your admin skills, right? Your project or program management skills. All of those will matter for you when you're, making that transition from your corporate job into becoming the CEO of your business. In the beginning, you might not necessarily be considered like a CEO in the sense that you might not be doing all CEO things, because you're going to, in the beginning, be a solopreneur, and you're going to more than likely wear many hats, right? But over time, you will learn how to evolve into being a CEO and only focusing on CEO activities and actually hiring people and using people resources or human resources to delegate your different projects and different parts of your business to those individuals. And you'll also learn more about systems, right? And the online tools that you'll need and automation and that sort of thing. And you should learn that anyways in the beginning years, which is why you also need a coach, because if you are a solopreneur and while you are a parallelpreneur, meaning you're working your 9 to 5 simultaneously with a full, part-time business, you are still going to need to put systems in place. You don't want to burn yourself out working a full-time job, and it's going to feel like your business is full-time even when it's part-time, because you'll be doing all the things and wearing all the hats in the beginning. So we want to at least start, brainstorming on how you can hire at least one part-time or even per diem assistant to help you. Virtual assistants are all around us, okay, and easy to hire. And then on top of that, you want to make sure that you're automating your systems or using systems to help you automate, putting those in place, and then automating and delegating in combination while you're at work, so you're not, like just exhausted from trying to do too much, okay? Because then that would defeat the point. My whole philosophy is about teaching you how to build a business, an aligned and profitable online brand and business, while prioritizing your health, healing, and happiness. So I'm never going to ask you to sacrifice your soul and sanity or compromise your health and happiness. That is not what we're doing over here, okay? So this is how you can test the waters and some of the things that you can actually do as far as leveraging your corporate skills, okay, to enhance your entrepreneurial journey. Now, the last and final thing before we actually get to, and I don't know, I'll think of if I have a bonus for you today, but to network and with your community, right? Network within the community so you can get the support you need. So it really is so important, and I say it all the time, really super important, critical to your success, that you start to get out there in the community and talk to any and everybody who's willing to listen. How you level up is really not just about, all the things that I named already will be golden for you. But what's going to put your success level like over the top is going to be you getting in the right rooms and starting to meet the right people. Networking, and building relationships, genuine relationships, not just saying your 30-second spill, right? Your elevator pitch that you've learned and repeated, and now you've got that on repeat like a broken record, and you're just going to go hand out a bunch of business cards and collect a bunch of business cards and never follow up. No, and no. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about building real, genuine relationships with the people you meet in the room. There is so much to be said, even though it is so convenient these days for you to go to like these virtual events, and I definitely do. They're very convenient, okay? And I don't mind, because there are a lot of people that you can meet in these rooms. But it's so much more when you can mix that with going to in-person events. Sorry about that. That was my alarm, so it kind of cut me off. Hopefully you didn't miss too much. But when you are in the rooms with people in person, the energy is off the charts, okay? You cannot get that kind of energy and have the same offline conversations that you would in the online space, or in the online space as you would in the offline spaces. So yes, continue to go to the virtual events for sure, definitely. But get out there and let people know who you are. Get out there and start meeting people in real life. Go to meetups. Look on Eventbrite and see what's happening in your communities. Go visit your local chamber of commerce. Okay, you probably have at least one, if not a few, in your area. Go see what events they have going on. Go to their roundtable discussions. Look on their calendars and see what's going on in their world, right? Like, what are they putting on? Start getting out and meeting people. Those individuals are going to then introduce you to other people you need to know, especially when they learn what it is you do. And if you're not even sure or not really fully clear yet, just start putting yourself out there and say what you're thinking about doing, right? What you're doing right at this point in time. They will put you on to the right people. They will invite you into more of the right rooms. They will introduce you to people within their network, and the word will start spreading. And other people will invite you to more events, and so on and so forth. And the energy is always so electric when you're in the right rooms. Start going to different events that, some of the people who are very successful are putting on in your neck of the woods, so to speak, right? You're looking right past your own backyard. There are people who are even doing tours, speaking tours. They're doing different events where they're traveling to your city or a city near you. And all you got to do is get there. If you can just get there. Most of them are either free events or they're paid events, but they're not even an astronomical amount of money. And even if they were a good amount of money that you'd have to invest, wouldn't it be worth it if you would get in the right rooms with the right people and learn the things that you wouldn't otherwise be privy to? That's what you need to be focused on. It's again about investing in you. Okay? So that's something else that I wanted to say. Online events, offline events, I just want to encourage you to join. This is some of the things you need to do as a part of your entrepreneurial journey. You can get, there are so many potential partnerships just waiting for you, people that you can strategically partner with. You would just be surprised. You can start making pitches to people on and offline and just start talking and letting people know who you are, what you do, who you support, how you support those individuals, and just get out there, get visible. You know what I'm saying? So, anyhow, okay. So since we're already at about 45 minutes. Let me just say this: no bonus today, okay, for this live stream. But what I do want you to know is that there's help out there waiting for you, available to you, and I'm one of those people who is willing to help you. Two resources I'll leave you with, and that is, first of all, 3, you can subscribe to my channel and continue to watch the free content. Free resources are great, okay? I'm definitely going to be dropping gems and telling you, I don't gatekeep over here, so I'm always going to give you the real goods, for real, okay? However, again, it's a part of the solution. It's not the whole kit and caboodle, right? It's not the whole enchilada. We're not giving you the full transformation. But if you want to work with me, if you want to get on a coaching call with me, if you want to get on a consulting call with me, if you need some clarity, some further insights, a customized plan, a blueprint that is specific to your situation, hop on a call with me. I do have a link in the description box, and I'll make sure it's pinned to the comments section. And in addition to that, I'll also pin my quick start guide that teaches you how to seamlessly transition from your job, your 9-to-5, your corporate job, okay? Get out of corporate, cut the cord altogether, and make sure that you do understand that you can become the CEO of your business, your brand, and your life. And it doesn't require you to climb anybody's ladder, doesn't require you to go for more school, to get more degrees and get into more debt, right? And at the end of all of that, to have more disappointment, because we're not doing that this year and beyond. So if you want that, the link to that, it will be pinned in the comment below as well as in the description box. And go ahead and download that copy today to get you started on the 7 simple steps to seamlessly transition out, including replacing your income. Okay? Like I said, get on a call with me. You can do both. You could do all 3. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Okay? That's the first thing for more content like this. Definitely catch me live here. Okay, that's the other way I'm dropping gems for you. So that's actually a second resource. Number 3 is to get my quick start guide, download that today. And number 4 is to get on a call with me. Do one, all of the above, or take your pick. Okay, so that's what I have available to you. I hope this has been plentiful for you today. I've been going live a lot longer. Like, I'm not just doing at minimum, I'll do 15 to 20 minutes, but most of my live streams run between 30 and 45 minutes, even though it's a daily dose. And I'm giving this to you in small, digestible pieces. As I always say, there are some pills that are harder to swallow than others. Today, hopefully, was an easy pill for you to swallow, but I want you to get into radical action, not just show up here, listen, take the information and do nothing with it. The whole point of me showing up on a day-to-day basis is to get you moving in the right direction and on your path to freedom. Okay? That's what we're doing. That's what this is all about. So, I don't think I have any more announcements. If I do, they'll be below in the pinned comments. Other than that, I'm going to tune out while you tune in. I don't know. Be sure to watch the next video that YouTube recommends, if it's true that they recommend videos while you are watching the live stream. I'm not really sure. Otherwise, make sure you share this video out with at least 3 friends. Could be your biz bestie, a colleague, an associate, an entrepreneur entourage that you have lined up, and they're like waiting for you to bring in the resources. Whatever it takes, somebody, anybody, everybody who can benefit from this information, be sure to share. And as always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now. Oh, real quick, hopefully you're still here. Before I go, I do have to mention my affiliate link to Hello Skip really quickly, because I'm actually in for a 10K win for a grant. I almost forgot to mention, this will be critical for you to know. And that is, if you do need money to help fund your business, and darn it, I wish I would have said that sort of in the middle or the beginning of this conversation. But if you're still here, thank you for staying this long enough for me to say this quick little piece. If you need business funding, Skip is connected to all sorts of grantors. I have and they too have a Skip Plus membership that every single week they're giving out thousands of dollars, but between $1,000 and $10,000. Right now, you have an opportunity to win either or both, okay? Because if you win $1,000, it doesn't eliminate you from trying to win the 10 grand. Click the link in my